First of all, a very good morning to all of you. In this class, I am going to discuss about the question which is asked in previous exam All India 2011. The question is asking about draw a label diagram of secondary sex organ of female reproductive system. As we already know and discussed in previous class, the reproductive system of female divided into two parts: primary reproductive system and the secondary reproductive system. Primary reproductive system consists of only ovary. Inside the ovary there are so many cells. The whole ovary is divided into germinal epithelium and the stroma. Stroma consists of cortex and medulla main region consists the blood vessels and the Graafian follicle. Now the question is asking about draw a label diagram of secondary sex organ of female reproductive system. The secondary sex organ of female reproductive system only consists of the fallopian tube, uterus, or connected with the cervix of vagina, and also contains the accessory gland, that is Bartholin gland. So only one accessory gland is present, Bartholin gland. The secondary reproductive system of female consists of different parts. First is accessory duct. Accessory duct formed by accessory ducts are oviduct, or also said to be fallopian tube. Fallopian tube. Now, after the accessory duct, there are accessory glands. From the fallopian tube, the fallopian tube linked with the uterus. So second is uterus within the accessory duct, or now second is accessory glands. Accessory glands. So only one pair of Bartholin gland. One pair of Bartholin gland. Bartholin gland. So these are the accessory duct or accessory gland. Now अब discuss करते with the help of diagram or other characteristic we will discuss in with the help of diagram. So what is the different characteristic of these accessory duct, and how many parts of these accessory duct or oviduct formed by, and what are their function during the reproduction. Now if we draw together the oviduct and the uterus and with the cervix, so here is the structure of uterus. Consists of fallopian tube, or there are 4 parts within the fallopian tube, and they are responsible for the different function also. Now these are the some important part of the fallopian, important part of the secondary sex organ. Now accessory ducts only, duct is only oviduct or fallopian tube. The fallopian tube consists of 4 parts. Fallopian or oviduct consists of 4 parts. First is infundibulum. Infundibulum, which is a funnel like structure. So here is infundibulum. Infundibulum, which is a funnel-like structure. Now, infundibulum opens or project the finger-like projections for the capturing of ovum, which is released by the ovary. So every month ovary releases one ovum released by at the alternate month. For example, because the human female or human reproductive system consists of two ovary, and each ovary release ovum at the alternate month. That means one ovary release the ovum at first month, so the second ovum released by this ovary or left side ovary by the third month. So in between the first and third month, that is second month, the second ovary, which is a right ovary, release ovum. So both the ovary function in alternate month. Now, infundibulum, finally they project the finger-like projection for the fimbriae to catch, so that they can catch the ovum released by the ovary. Now, after the infundibulum open into ampulla. The second part. Now, third part here is ampulla. Now, ampulla open into the thin tube known as isthmus. Ampulla is long tube and isthmus is short and thin tube. So it is isthmus. Now, isthmus then finally open into the uterine cavity. The fourth part is uterine cavity. Now, uterine cavity or uterus consists of three layers. The outermost layer is formed by or known as perimetrium. Middle layer is known as myometrium, and the innermost layer is known as endometrium wall, and both have the specific function during the development of the embryo or for the implantation of the embryo. So the perimetrium have the specific function both. But before this, we have first we discuss about the function of these structures of the fallopian tube. Now, infundibulum give rise to the projection, finger-like projection. That projections are known as fimbriae, which catches ovum releases by the ovary. Now, ampulla is a tube-like long tube structure, or isthmus is thin tube structure. Both ampullary and isthmus junction provide certain specific environment for the fertilization of the ovum and the sperm, so that sperm can easily penetrate the membrane of ovum. So they provide the suitable environment for the fertilization, both the ampulla and isthmus. Finally, the uterine cavity have cilia. They have the cilia. They transfer the ovum. They push ovum or fertilized egg that is converted into the zygote, and when they move towards the cavity or towards the uterus, they undergoes in cleavage process, and thus from the zygote 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, 16 cells blastomeres form inside the blastocyst or inside the morula. Now, morula converted into the blastocyst, which consists of the two layer or two structures. The outer membrane is known as trophoblast, and the inner membrane is inner cell mass, consists of inner cell mass, which the inner cell mass undergoes in the cleavage and also in differentiation process. By the differentiation process, finally there is formation of the different membrane, that is ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, which give rise to the different organ system of the baby. So different organ system, specific organ system formed by the different layer of the embryo, which is formed by the inner cell mass, and trophoblast also help in the formation of the placenta, and help in the settlement, or also said to be which help the trophoblast layer also help embryo for so that they can embedded in the endometrium wall of the uterus. So the uterus formed by the three layers. The outermost layer is perimetrium, middle layer formed by the myometrium, which is muscular layer, and endometrium wall, the innermost layer, endometrium, which form every month in the female uterus during the menstrual cycle. So every year they passes by for the fertilization, or for the proper embedded, so that ovum, when after fertilization or the embryo get embedded in the endometrium wall of the uterus, the formation of endometrium wall always takes place during a month. And when the if egg is not fertilized by the sperm, so both egg and endometrium wall passes in the form of menses. So blood and tissues releases, because the endometrium wall mainly formed by the blood vessels and the tissues, or patches of the tissues, for the proper implantation of the embryo, for the proper implantation of the embryo. So they provide suitable environment, endometrium wall, and the cells of endometrium wall undergoes in rapid division, so that they cover the embryo, so that to ensure the proper implantation of the embryo. So these are the characteristic nature of the secondary sex organ. Now rest is cervix. The final is cervix, which is covered by the plug of mucus, on the plug of mucus always released during a month only, when the ovum transmitted into the fallopian tube, or into the fallopian tube at the region of ampulla or isthmus junction. Then this plug releases out through the vagina for the entry of the sperm into the fallopian tube, into the ampullary region of the fallopian tube, so that they can easily fertilize with the ovum. So environment is provided by the ampullary isthmus junction, and all these events actually supports the fertilization in the ampullar region. So not only the environment given by the ampulla or isthmus region, the other organs also support the fertilization and entry of the sperm. Now second structure is accessory gland. Only one accessory gland present in case of female, that is present on either side of the vagina, that is Bartholin's gland. Bartholin's gland. So a pair of Bartholin's gland present on either side of vagina, or they also support the fertilization. They release mucus or fluid condition also decrease the pH of vagina or acidity of the vagina, so that sperm actually can survive when they pass through the vagina, because acidity of vagina can kill the sperm. So, and that is protected. So all over these are the all over characteristic and structure of the secondary sex organ of the female. Now if we talk about the primary sex organ, so primary sex organ always is ovary. So if the question is asking about the primary sex organ of the female, then we draw only the ovary. Now come to the next question. So the next question is, write the difference in between spermiogenesis and spermiation. So first we discuss about the spermatogenesis. Within the spermatogenesis, all these two process takes place. So first we understand what is spermatogenesis, and then we understand about the spermiogenesis and spermiation. So let us discuss about the spermatogenesis, which is a phenomena in which the spermiation and spermiogenesis both takes place. Now during the development of spermatozoa or formation of spermatozoa from the spermatogonia is known as spermatogenesis. Whole process is known as spermatogenesis. In the spermatogenesis process, first germinal cell is spermatogonia. Spermatogonia, which is a cell present in the seminiferous tubule, or present in the because the seminiferous tubule is formed by germinal epithelium, which consists of two type of cell, the Sertoli cell and Sertoli cell, which provide nutrition to the developing sperm, and second cell is spermatogonia or germ cell, also known as germ cell. Now the germ cell spermatogonia, which is diploid in nature, so first they undergoes in mitosis division to increase their number, so that they after the formation of primary spermatocytes, the primary spermatocyte undergoes in the meiosis first division. But all these process, when the primary spermatocytes undergoes in meiosis first division, this process takes place only when the individual come in the puberty. So due to the significance hormone or due to the certain hormones, they trigger the formation of primary oocyte or trigger the primary oocyte, so that they can easily proliferate or undergoes in and complete their meiosis first division. So during the young age, before puberty, the differentiation process or multiplication process of multiplication process of the formation of primary spermatocytes already takes place, already happen during the intrauterine life, but they ceases at the stage of prophase. Like oogenesis, they ceases at the meiosis first division when the puberty came. Finally, the division start from where they are rested. So the spermatogonia, which is a germ cell, again diploid in nature, that is 2n number of chromosome, diploid in nature. So first they undergoes in mitosis division to form the primary spermatocyte. Then primary spermatocyte during puberty, the primary spermatocyte undergoes in meiosis first division. Meiosis first to form the secondary spermatocyte. Secondary spermatocyte. So here is because they are the primary spermatocyte formed by the mitosis division. So the ploidy of the primary spermatocyte said to be diploid in nature. Diploid, that two sets of two sets of chromosomes are present in the primary spermatocyte. Secondary, in the formation of during the formation of secondary spermatocyte, the primary spermatocyte undergoes in meiosis first division to form, because the meiosis first division is a reduction division and meiosis second is same as the mitosis division. So why they are known as reduction division? Because due to the meiosis first division, actually the chromosome number of the cell which undergoes in meiosis division become halves and form the daughter cells. So the number of chromosomes in the secondary spermatocyte just half as compared to the parent, that means primary spermatocyte. So n in number, haploid in nature. Then secondary spermatocyte undergoes in meiosis second division to form the spermatid. Again n in number. Then undergoes in differentiation process to form the 12 spermatozoa. So how many spermatozoa formed by the spermatogenesis? There are 4 spermatozoa formed by the spermatogenesis process or haploid in nature. Now first we discuss about the spermiogenesis, that is conversion of the spermatid into the spermatogenesis, that is known as known to be spermiogenesis. The differentiation process, because in the NCERT spermatid structure, the structure of spermatid given, circular structure of spermatid given in the NCERT book. But in the circular structure there will be, because the spermatozoa have to be transferred into the vagina, or when they transfer into the vagina of female, so because the distance from the vagina is or ampulla region, there is some difference in between the ampulla or vaginal region, so there is need to be swimming. When they swim, so they reaches at the position of at the environment of the fertilization, because ovum is present at the ampullary region. So if they अगर वो रीच नहीं कर पाए हैं तो फिर क्या होगा, fertilization is not carried out by the sperm. So for this purpose they undergoes in differentiation process, or after the differentiation process they have to form some significant organ, or they are help in the fertilization, or that is they need flagella for swimming purpose, because when they swim, if they are not able to swim, so they can't reach to the ovum at the which is present at the ampullary region. So and for the swimming purpose they also need higher number of mitochondria. For energy they need higher number of mitochondria, so that they use the ATP which is formed by the mitochondria. And second is the centriole, because if centriole is not present, so they the nucleus of this cell do not undergoes in the cleavage process. Second is for the penetration of the ovum wall, because ovum is formed by the thick layer of zona pellucida. So during the differentiation process they also need formation of the acrosome. Acrosome also get formed in the spermatozoa. So from the spermatid there is the conversion of spermatid and into the spermatozoa, there is a huge conversion, that is formation of tail, formation of acrosome, formation of larger or greater number of mitochondria. So in the spermiogenesis process, the differentiation spermiogenesis, that is differentiation of spermatid into spermatozoa. Spermatozoa. Now, spermatozoa, there is formation of the formation of flagella, formation of or differentiation of whole cell into the head, neck, middle piece and tail. So there are four structure formed as compared to the spermatid in the spermatozoa, and number of mitochondria also increases, size of the nucleus also increases, and formation of the acrosome from the Golgi body, and the all these except all these structure, all the other cell organelles disappear for reducing the cell mass of the spermatozoa, or because they have to transfer into the vagina, or due to this purpose they also reduce the size of the spermatozoa as compared to the germinal cell. So from one cell there is formation of four spermatozoa. So already the cytoplasm contained divided into the four parts, so that the size of the spermatozoa also decreases. Now, spermiogenesis, the process by which the spermatid is by which the spermatid is converted into the spermatozoa, and the process is known as the spermiogenesis. Second is the spermiation. So spermiation. Now, spermiation is a release of the spermatozoa from seminiferous tubule. So, release of spermatozoa from seminiferous tubule. Release of spermatozoa from the seminiferous tubule, or they are also said to be release of spermatozoa from the Sertoli cell, because they are embedded in the Sertoli cell, embedded in the membrane of the Sertoli cell, so that they can easily get their nutrients, nourishment from the Sertoli cell. When they release, and after the development, when they get proper nutrition from the Sertoli cell, they finally release from the Sertoli or seminiferous tubule and transfer into the epididymis for the short storage. So there are three structure in the epididymis for the short day storage. That means ki 14 day of storage takes place in the epididymis for the proper development of the spermatozoa, or also they ensure the motility of the sperm, and finally they transfer into the seminal vesicles, and they again store for the long term, and they also get their nutrients, nourishment in the seminal vesicles, because the seminal cells of seminal vesicles secrete fructose, prostaglandin for greater motility of the, for providing larger or faster motility to the spermatozoa. Now, what is difference in between the spermiogenesis and spermiation? The quite difference in between the spermiogenesis and the spermiation. Spermiogenesis is the process, in which the spermatid undergoes in differentiation to form the spermatozoa. The spermatid undergoes in the formation of different structures. That structure will be the flagella, formation of greater number of larger number of the number of the mitochondria, and the nucleus also increase in their size, and formation of acrosome. Now, the spermiation is the release of spermatozoa from the Sertoli cell and from the seminiferous tubule. After when they fully develop, when they fully develop, they detach from the, because they when after the differentiation process, spermatozoa get embedded in the Sertoli cell. The head of spermatozoa get embedded in the Sertoli cell so that they can easily get their nutrient nutrient from the Sertoli cell. And when they get fully matured, they finally release from the Sertoli cell that and from the seminiferous tubule. That process is known as spermiation. So both process takes place simultaneously. First is spermiogenesis, then second spermiogenesis, and the second step is spermiation. So here is the difference in between the spermatogenesis and spermiation. I hope you here is the content or events all about the question. I hope you like this video, so keep watching me and listening me. Thank you, friends.